Hey guys, I'm Shane from Blackstone. I'm here with Mike.
How's it going?
And today's episode of Fire and Order features a product review where Mike and I discuss the sights from the Vortex Defender Series, then pick a version that we actually like the best.
Let's dive into them. So we have a couple different versions of the Vortex Defender Series. The first thing we're going to look at is size. We have the Defender ST Series, which is these guys over here. That's more of your full-size optic. We have the CCW series. The CCW is really designed specifically for like your 365s, your Glock 43s, and 43Xs. Then we have the XL, which is this guy here, really based on competition. And then you see these guys at the end. These are actually enclosed versions of the same two Defender ST and Defender CCW. Shane, why would we choose one size over another?
I think most people, if they're going to carry like a compact gun, the 43X, the 365, any of that, they're going to want a smaller optic on it because they're carrying it every day. It's an appendix carry. It's the smaller the better for that, as long as they can fight with that style size gun. Then you're kind of an everyday full-size gun. The 19s, the 19Xs, any of that is going to be a standard series. The ST, your home defense gun, sitting on my nightstand. You probably want something with a little bit bigger of an optic on it. Then you got the XL. It's got a huge window. You can pick the dot up really, really fast. And so a lot of people's going to pick that one if they're shooting more competition. With 3 different sizes, you got plenty of options. It gives everybody an option that works for them for their particular use of whatever they're carrying the gun for.
So let's talk about features on these optics. We have a couple different features, which are pretty cool. All the main models, so the Defender ST, the CCW, and the XL, all come in a couple different options. You have both red reticles and green reticles, so there's some advantages and disadvantages to both. And then you also have the body color. You have the FDE color on some of them, and they also come in black as well. Shane, why would we go red over green and as far as reticle?
So when we teach a lot of defensive style carrying with a red dot, or teach a red dot class or an intro to red dot, any of that, depending on the person, they're going to let you know pretty quick whether they pick up a green dot faster or a red dot faster, depending on whether they got some kind of eye issue with astigmatism or any of that. Some people pick up red a lot easier, some people pick up green, but you got to actually try each one of them out to see which one you're faster with, which one's clearer, which one the dot's crisper with. You might be different than me, so it just gives you another option of that.
Yeah, I found that outdoors in like the sandy environments, if you're in the ranges, sometimes the green's a little bit faster to pick up. Indoors, that red, for me at least, is a little bit faster. The enclosed emitters only come in red. So that is one distinct difference between those. Everything does have those kind of like multi-reticles too.
Right.
So you have the dot and circle dot.
And some people's eyes might pick that just a plain dot up faster, and some people might pick the circle up. For me, sometimes the circle does actually point a lot faster.
Yeah, also for new shooters, picking up that bigger circle is sometimes easier because you can kind of bracket everything, especially if you're not used to red dots.
You just got to try them out and see which one works the best, whether it be red or green for your particular eye or your particular use of the gun.
Yeah, and then the other thing is that fast rack. What we're talking about the fast rack is that face on the front of these optics here is textured. So you can rack that off the table, rack that off your belt, give you a little bit of grip edge, and especially in a tactical situation. I mean, you're more aware of some of the tactical situations that might come up in.
Yeah, if something goes down and something happens to one of your arms and you're not able to actually manipulate the gun, you can use it off the side of your car, off your boot, off your belt, off the table, off the trunk, whatever.
Off your beard.
As long as you can do it, yeah, off the beard. So you're going to be able to get the gun up and running when you need to.
The cool thing about a lot of these Vortexes, there's a lot of different options. One of the options is dot size. We have a couple different dot sizes in all these. They range from 3 to 6. And then we have one that's 2, 5, and 8. Then we obviously have the multi-reticle options on the enclosed emitters. Shane, what's the advantage of some of the different dot sizes?
Depending on what somebody's going to use the actual dot for, some people really like a smaller MOA dot because they're getting a more precise sight picture, especially if they're shooting at distance. It's not covering up my target at distance. Some people really like a larger dot if they're going to use it for defensive carry, or if they're going to use it for competition, to where it actually allows my eye to pick it up a lot faster. So if I'm in close, I can pick the dot up a lot faster. I can get shots off a lot quicker. So a lot of people like that larger 6 MOA dot if they're going to do competition with it.
So you would say at distance, a larger dot might not be as beneficial.
Correct. I like a smaller dot, especially at distance, or more precise work if you're going to be doing it to where you're actually able to not cover up your target at distance. If we're looking at a steel target at 100 yards, we don't want to take a chance of the dot covering up the actual target. If we're shooting plates, we don't want it to cover up the entire plate where we can't see it.
Yeah, I mean, especially with an 8 MOA dot, you're talking about 8 inches.
Correct.
And that's almost the entire body of that steel target. Two things we want to actually highlight here are the newest additions to the Vortex Defender line. and that is their enclosed optics. So Shane, what's the advantage of an enclosed optic?
So a lot of people have switched to an enclosed optic, especially if they're carrying it every day, especially appendix carry. They're carrying it as a duty gun, any of that, because it's keeping a lot of that debris out, whether it be rain, snow, dust, Cheetos, whatever. So it's keeping all that out of the emitter itself. If you get a lot of these people's guns, if you look at them that they've been carrying them every day and they're not doing proper care, or they're checking on it once a week or whatever, you're liable to find anything in these red dots, because the way it's setting on you, whether you're carrying it on your hip, whether you're carrying an appendix, it kind of catches everything when it falls. So when it's going in there, it's actually setting in there and then building up along the emitter. With the closed emitter, it kind of stops a lot of that problem. So it makes it a little bit easier if you're going to carry the gun every day.
And for those that don't know what the difference is between a closed emitter and an open emitter, basically with a closed emitter, you have two panes of glass. On a single open emitter, you have a single pane of glass on the front, and then this open portion in the back. The emitter here is transferring over to the glass. With that second pane of glass, it prevents all the debris from getting on that first pane of glass. The other big selling feature on these guys is they are solar powered. So there's definitely a distinct battery life. They're powered by the sun, so you basically have infinite battery.
You got to figure most people with a battery life, if it's a 50,000 hour battery life, that equals about 3 years. So you can put it on, leave it on for 3 years, you know. But for me personally, if I'm gonna do it, I pick a date that works for me, either birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, something, to where I go in and change the battery in all my optics. So I know once a year, the battery, so if you're gonna carry it for defensive purposes, we'll change it once a year. Even though the batteries are gonna last 3 years, with the solar power, you're getting 150,000 hours of battery life, or 35,000 without being solar powered at all. So you're getting a long life. So if you're changing that once a year, you have zero problems out of it. And the good part with them all being either top or side loaded is it makes it a lot easier not to remove the optic from the firearm to change the battery in it.
Now that we've explored all of the different options, Shane and I are going to pick which ones fit our lifestyle best. For me, I think it's going to be the enclosed emitter version with the full size. I want to avoid that Cheeto dust like Shane mentioned before. The other side of that too is I carry a full-size gun. So a full-size gun, this is going to fit a lot better for my options.
Well, that doesn't surprise me, because I figured you'd have plenty of Cheeto dust in your regular carry gun. So that's what I would have picked for Mike as well. So me personally, I would probably go with either, if I'm going to put it on a 43X, it would probably be one of the CCW models. It would be something that fits the majority guns I'm going to be carrying every day on a full-size gun, or a defensive carry that's sitting on my nightstand. So that's kind of where it would be for me. It would fall between these two. If I'd probably end up picking both of them.
Kind of surprises me, honestly. I expected you to say the XL because, you know, you're not so great with the visual acuity.
Just part of being old. I
Yeah.
probably need this one on everything I got, you know, so I can pick it up a lot faster.
Can we get a magnifier on that too?
We might need this with some readers on it. All right, thanks for watching this episode of Fire and Order.
We'll be watching the comments section for any thoughts and questions you guys might have.
Tune in every Thursday for new episodes, and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great content from Blackstone.
We'll see you next week.